has happened again, folks. Another sober driver has come forward saying she too was arrested by a state trooper for DUI.
She now makes the 8th innocent person arrested by this single trooper for a crime she didn't commit.
Our chief investigator, Jeremy Finley, continues the sobering problem investigation tonight. Jeremy, she contacted you after seeing your last story.
Yeah, that's right, guys. It was just last week when I reported that Trooper James Zahn had arrested 7 different people for DUI, and all their blood work later came back showing they were completely sober. Jane Bondurant saw that story, and she called me saying, it happened to me too.
Put your hands straight out beside you.
So there's something you need to know right off the bat about this video of Jane Bondurant's field sobriety test last November. It is not being recorded by a fellow police officer. What made your friend think, I need to record this?
I think she was so shocked that I'd even been arrested and that I was even doing it.
Bondurant's friend started recording after Bondurant was involved in a fender bender with a Franklin police officer. THP Trooper James Zahn was then called in, writing Bondurant had bloodshot, watery eyes and appeared to be impaired.
Keep in mind, I'm 71 years old and I've just been in a wreck. I felt like I was doing really well, and I felt like my friend with me felt the same way.
Listen to what happened instead.
You're under arrest, okay?
Oh, gosh.
No.
What kind of impairment, sir?
Stay back.
What kind of impairment?
I don't know. I'm not
She followed and did everything you asked.
All that will be discussed in court.
I am in shock.
Are you really arresting me?
She didn't mention it, but Zahn wasn't arresting someone unfamiliar with law enforcement. Bondurant is a former assistant U.S. attorney. What was it like for you to be arrested for a crime you didn't commit?
Shock was the first reaction, trauma, and the trauma lasted for months because it took for months to be resolved.
And like the 7 other sober drivers charged with DUI by Zahn, Bondurant's blood work came back with no alcohol and no drugs, except for sleeping medication she'd taken the night before. The charges nollied, meaning the DA opted not to prosecute. You're now the 8th sober driver to be arrested by Trooper Zahn.
I think I make people too many.
I'm wondering what you think the THP should do.
I know they've got a problem person.
And we asked Governor Lee what he thinks. I'm wondering if you feel like at this point the THP needs to be reviewing how it's conducting DWI investigations.
Well, I think we have, in fact, just in this past year, put in place a requirement from TDI to provide transparency around those cases. I think that's the first step, is transparency.
He's referring to a new state law prompted by our sobering problem investigations that will require the TBI to gather all of the sober drivers arrested for DUI in Tennessee in 2025. But that report won't include cases like Bondurant's. She was arrested last November, and won't detail the impact of these arrests. For Bondurant, she learned her insurance was being dropped.
I just called the guy and said, is this because of the DUI? And he said, yes.
Okay, so some good news. 3 days before she was to lose her insurance, the charges were nollied, and she did keep her insurance. Now, as we've done with each and every story, we reached out to the THP. They emailed me a short while ago with a statement that did not address any of our questions, saying that troopers are highly trained to identify signs of impairment. Bondurant's arrest now makes her the 16th sober Tennessean to be arrested for DUI by state troopers. Half of those arrests made by Trooper James Zahn. Marius?
Wow, Jeremy, they just keep coming.
Yeah.
Trailhand Bill, reporting live from South Florida. Johnny's versus the Johnnies. Now, I'm gonna keep it real. Y'all don't really know me like that. I'm listening to this story thinking, but I might be about to take a damn trip to Tennessee and see if this 71-year-old young lady like black men, because I've been single for a while now, and I've been looking for me a damn sugar mama, and she fit the bill. Well, at least she did, until they revealed that her ass was a former Johnny too. Now, excuse me, miss, former U.S. Assistant Prosecutor, attorney lady. How many times did you encounter innocent Americans trying to communicate to you that the Johnnies were lying on them pertaining to the case that you were prosecuting? I'm watching the trial right now. Donald Adelson down here in Florida, she set her whole damn family up and ruined it because her former son-in-law wanted to be a father to his children. She thought that her daughter, the mom, and her, the grandmom, and the uncle and granddad, and everybody else besides the father had more rights to his children than he did, and therefore she set him up to be murdered. And now her son, and you know, a couple of other co-conspirators are in prison, and her ass is about to be sentenced going to prison for the rest of their lives, very probably, because that's the sentence all of them except one gentleman who snitched on the rest got life sentences without parole, right? All right, cool. I'm listening to Johnny in that case on the trial, on the stand right now testifying, and I'm watching just thinking, I don't want to hear anything that this coward has to say, even though what they're saying, even when he's lying and clearly just trying to be problematic to the defense counsel, is in furtherance of justice for this innocent father who was murdered. I still don't want to hear a damn thing that Johnny has to say, and the reason is because these cowards can never be trusted. So I'm going back to this former prosecutor. A young lady, I don't trust you either. Your ass done got pulled over on the side of the road and arrested for not even being drunk, for being a sober American, and it has a lot to do with the gang-banging organization that you chose to affiliate yourself with in career. And again, I ask, how many Americans did you help prosecute, not knowing that when they were telling you they were innocent and these Johnnies were lying on them, they were telling the truth? It's very difficult in situations like this for me to have sympathy for you all. There are not many people who work for the American government who I do not consider Johnnies. And prosecutors, yeah, y'all ass definitely fit the bill. So even though I initially wanted to, you know, take a trip to Tennessee and find you and ask you for your potential hand in marriage on some sugar mama shit, I ain't gonna lie. Ain't no way in hell, man, because I just can't say. I mean, it would be a cruel twist of fate if God saw fit to have me attracted to a damn Johnny. Now, that doesn't mean that I agree with what they did to your ass. I just look at it as maybe what they Malcolm X say, the roosters have come home to roost or something like that. And that's what I think about every time it be Johnny versus Johnny. Every time they do something to you guys that they've been doing to us forever. And again, my sympathy is very minimal. And that's the reason why. Now, to these Tennessee cops, man. I mean, this is the 8th innocent American that you get. Well, I really can't call her innocent if I'm being honest. But the 8th American, 15 of them definitely innocent, and one former Johnny, you know, might just be paying for the sins from her past, you know, and he's responsible for 8 of these 16 arrests. And their response is, these cowards are highly trained. In what? I mean, come on. Let's be real here, because we just talking about Tennessee state troopers arresting sober Americans. Like, we watch videos of y'all going to the wrong house, shooting people and charging them with crimes because they were trying to protect their homes and their loved ones, and y'all didn't announce yourself. We watch videos of a guy getting robbed and calling y'all after he shot the robbers off of his property to report the crime. Y'all show up and shoot him. We watch videos of y'all going to the wrong address, killing Americans. We watch videos of y'all pulling Americans over and arresting them because you typed in the wrong license plate when you accused them at gunpoint of being in stolen vehicles. I want to know what the hell these guys are trained professionally in besides terrorizing American citizens. Because to say that there's no excuse for this, man, and on top of it, no penalties whatsoever for them out there road pirating. I mean, that's a major understatement, man. I don't know how many different ways these domestic terrorists have to declare war on the American public, man. I mean, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I know there are a lot of people out there in our nation, man, in our country, who are totally oblivious to this. They're living their lives. Some know about it, but it's in the back of their minds, you know, in the bucket call, as long as it's not happening to me. But the truth of the matter is, it's sad and it's unthinkable. And like I'm well aware that I'm assuming this former state's attorney, it's going to be a rude awakening for them when they realize it is happening to them. And then they're going to want people to use voices and influence to speak to their injustice or the injustice that has been served to them. I think there is a time when we need to just practically stand up against this tyranny. And I think that time has long since lapsed. I think it was in the past. I think we're way behind the clock on that mission, man. I am 1,000,000% for another, preferably peaceful, civil uprising against the American government, because they clearly have not been peaceful in their war against us. But if it doesn't have to be peaceful, then I am 1,000,000% with that too, because as adamant as I am about not advocating senseless violence, I'm just as adamant about our right, human and civil, to self-defense. There's no reason Americans should be traveling on American roadways that they pay for only to be pulled over and kidnapped by American cops that work for them and incarcerated and having their lives thrown into upheaval because professionals don't give a damn about the mistakes they make. And let's just be real. In a lot of cases, these aren't even mistakes. I wish this was only happening in Tennessee. It may be a bigger epidemic in Tennessee, but being arrested for traveling sober is happening all over our nation, just like these other miscarriages of justice that I mentioned in this video. And they wonder why cops are being ambushed. A lot of us could answer those questions for you. I'm Trailhand Bill. Y'all be good. Thank you if you made it this far. If you liked the video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. If you care to go a little further than that, maybe even subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out a few of the other videos on the channel. Either way, y'all be safe.